I think of working in the MHCDS program as working with four separate teams that are connected in many ways, but are really important teams. The first one is the technology support team, and they're amazing. If I want to do anything, like literally anything with my class, I can just propose it to them and they'll come up with a way to do it. So if it's going to be an online experience like a game, they can help set it up. If it's going to be a new experience, an interactive experience during a live meeting, they can do that too. So they help to really use the technology in a way that takes advantage of it being a distance course rather than an in-person course, and in some ways makes it a better experience for the students than if they were actually here, because of the technology team, we're taking advantage of all the different things you can do online that you can't do in person. So that first team is awesome. The next team I think of is the curriculum specialists, and they're incredibly important in a variety of ways. They help interact with the students, they give them feedback, they are a sort of a sounding board for the students that are safer than talking directly to faculty sometimes. But I think their most important role is in helping to integrate across the entire curriculum. And this is something that is totally different from any other educational experience that I've ever had in teaching. Usually you're teaching your one individual course and you have relatively little interactions with other professors, and the curriculum specialists help to link us together in subject matter, in the topics and the ideas. So if I'm starting to talk about, for example, whether or not to make a decision on a quality improvement project in healthcare, the curriculum specialists know that Anant had actually talked about the finances of improvements and what are variable expenditures versus fixed expenditures and how that relates to my class. So it's really great to have that curriculum interaction. The other part of the interaction that's great is that they help us to disseminate best practices for the technology. So for example, early on in the program, I was really struggling with how to structure my live meetings. That's the 1 hour live part that we do online through Adobe Connect. And they weren't going very well. And one of the curriculum specialists, they said, you know, over in the economics class, they always start every live meeting with a very brief quiz. Not a quiz, but more of a survey for the students, just to get their ideas on a particular topic, and then they use that as a springboard. So it's something you can do online, it can be done very, very quickly, and it gives you sort of an in to the student's mind. And I did it, and it was great. So that's just one example where they're sort of spreading out the ideas among the various faculty. The third team are the faculty ourselves. We, to an unusual extent, integrated this curriculum. Before the program started, we met for a variety of seminars where we described to each other what we'd be teaching, what our research is about, and because of that, we really know what we're doing. And the technology actually helps with this too, because it's all online and because it's there to be seen, you can, as a faculty member, sort of drop in on other people's classes really, really easily. So for example, I went through the shared decision-making class last month just watching as it went along. I was sort of a fly on the wall as the students talked about their issues, and I listened to the professor. And if I want to review what Anant did in finance, I can go back into the archives and just review his lectures and review his stuff too. So the technology really helps the faculty to integrate amongst ourselves. The last team, I think, is maybe the most important one, and that is the team between the faculty and the students. And this is, again, a way in which this program is so completely different from all the other programs I've taught in. You really do feel like you're collaborating with the students on learning and understanding the material. When I teach MBA students or undergraduates, there is a definite hierarchy. I'm the professor, I have the knowledge, they are learning from me. Sometimes there's some feedback, but it's mainly one-way communication. With this group of students who are incredibly accomplished, incredibly intelligent, energetic professionals, they know a lot more about the subject matter in some ways than I do. So we really learn from each other. I give them some fundamental concepts, they see how to apply it, and then give me back some applications. And again, the technology is incredibly important here. Through discussion boards, blogs, the various assignments, the quizzes, we can really see and have this two-way communication all the time. And usually the feedback, it's really a conversation between all of us. It's not like I give them an assignment, they give me an answer. It's more like this continuous loop. I give them an assignment, they give me an answer, I give them some feedback, they give me some feedback on my feedback, and it goes back and forth almost forever. And in fact, it continues after the class is over. I frequently get emails from students bringing up concepts that came from the class and telling me about new applications and asking me questions about how to apply them. So in general, it's just been a great experience. All four teams are wonderful, and I've enjoyed it, and I've learned an awful lot.